maybe start with just on Lars Eller, and then I just want to ask another question.
Yeah, we're excited to bring Lars into our group. I mean, another veteran with experience that's high character individual that can move around the lineup. And, we're looking to continue to build on our depth. And he was specifically, I think, going into this free agency was different than last year, where we had more areas that we were looking to address. And it was comforting going into this year, where really we were looking for one specific area that if we could improve in it, we would. And we weren't, we had our sights set on a certain individual, and it was Lars. And if not, then we would have looked at other avenues to be able to do it. But we're excited to have him.
Just how did kind of today unfold, Steve? Did you kind of said going into this, you didn't want to get caught up into, you get excited about free agency, but you didn't want to get caught up in anything. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's fair to say, because I really don't have. I have a little bit of an idea what's going on today, but I don't really know any specifics. We were focused on our specific need and seeing if we had an opportunity to address that, and we were able to do it.
We know there's other opportunities for you to make your team better as they come, but how do you feel about your roster right now with the shopping you've done on July 1?
Well, we feel good. I mean, I guess the July 1 on adding Lars Eller today was significant for us, heading into the season. And look back, Dylan Cousins and Fabian Zetterlund, Jordan Spence at the draft. So it's kind of, we didn't have a lot of to do in free agency this year as far as acquisitions. We sort of the work has actually kind of been laid out. Been a bit of a slow roll.
Do you foresee making any other additions? Like you have 12 forwards, 7 defensemen.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Most likely not. Like, we feel comfortable with where we are. We're working on our depth as well throughout the organization, and Matt Turk's done a fine job in building up some depth. As you know, we need depth throughout the organization and throughout the year. We used a lot of it last year, so making sure we're being specific in getting players that can come in and help us.
For Lars Eller as well, how important is he just for that fourth line center role? Or, I know you say you play yourself into positions, it's going to come later, but when you looked at your chart.
Yeah, I think that's you sort of, but that chart seems to move around quite a bit with our group, and especially with Travis. And Travis is true to his word, and if the players are playing well, he'll find more time for him. So I wouldn't specifically say that Lars is slotted into that spot, because he has some variability to his game and can play on the wing and move around, along with a lot of our players. When we look at it, I think for our coaches, for Travis in particular, he likes the ability that a lot of our players bring and can play their offsides. We have right wingers, Zetterlund, Giroux, and Perron in particular can play on either side, and I think he's excited about the adaptability of the roster.
We can finally also ask you about Claude Giroux signing. Can you tell us just how that came about, and also his willingness to accept that contract?
Yeah, I think let's start there. He shows the true character of what Claude Giroux is all about, where there's an opportunity for him to become an unrestricted free agent, and he's earned that right. Believes in what we're doing here in Ottawa as a group, believes in his teammates, believes in himself. And, we're grateful to have a player like that and a person as well. He's put in a lot of work for our organization. We're very grateful for him and his family and what he's all about.
How do you feel about the salary cap space you guys have? Puckpedia says you have a little over $6 million right now.
Yeah, well, not quite that much, but it took a while to get to have some flexibility. We wanted to lengthen the roster. You've heard me say that. Try and lengthen the roster and give yourself some flexibility. And cap space is important moving forward. And again, it it takes time to be able to run it out the way that we have it's taken a couple of years.
I know I asked you about your roster earlier, but I'll add the context of what some of the other teams in the Atlantic Division have done the last few days. Montreal swung a big trade to get Noah Dobson. Boston's made moves all day. Obviously, Florida's trying to stay Florida. In the context of looking at what other teams do you feel you've done enough with your roster to kind of keep up with some of those teams who are either trying to stay atop in the division or trying to make the playoffs?
I haven't really seen what the other teams have done, and we're focused on what we're doing here, and we don't get distracted by what other teams are doing. We feel like we have a good plan in place for this group. I'm mindful of this group and their growth and their development, and I think I can't emphasize that enough. Like, they are taking hold of it. The manager's there to support it and to make sure that you can add to where you need to add. The emphasis is on this group, and they continue to. So making additions is strategic to this group. I don't think that they need so much as the support around them to continue to grow and develop together.
Just on the Giroux part, many people said he took a hometown discount to stay in Ottawa. Why weren't you maybe more willing to kind of go to where the market value was with him and project negotiation?
It was one of the most challenging starts to a negotiation for me, because you want to be fair to the player. What is that number? And I think and not to get into specifics, but as we went through the process, it became clear that we were, but again, it's up to the player. And, as a manager, you want to be fair to the player, but you also the goal is to continue to grow the team and also to win. And to be able to do that, you need to manage, the cap and the salary properly. And the negotiation with Claude allowed us to do what we did today, and also give us the flexibility moving forward.
Why didn't you go to 2 or 3 years on a contract? Why was it a 1-year deal?
It was mutually agreed upon.
Jordan Spence, what do you like about him?
There's a lot to like. Young mobile defenseman, right shot, which is at a premium in our league. Can break pucks out. A competitive kid. Not the biggest player, but highly competitive. Just a talent all around. High character kid as well. Now, and we talk about where our team can continue to get better, and we talk about 5-on-5 play and trying to create some offense, and he certainly has the ability to deliver the puck to the forwards on time, be creative in the offensive zone, and mobile across the blue line.
Now, why do you bring Nick Cousins back?
Well, you see what Nick brings to the team. He's a high energy player, competitive, great teammate, tons of courage, and throughout the regular season that's important, but as you continue to get into those tougher games at the end of the season and into playoffs, that's the type of player that you want on your team.
Can you talk about your other signing today, Lexell?
Yeah, Ollie Lexell is a skilled forward that played games in the NHL last year, and we feel that adding that type of player to our team he's a great call-up option for us, and we hope that he's still at that age where I think he's got some room to develop, but certainly we think very highly of Ollie.
What about Marilyn? And you were able to get him signed yesterday, and is obviously ready to make the jump.
Yeah, Levy, sort of expedited his development through last year. His differentiator is his mindset and how he approaches things. The moment just doesn't seem too big for him, and he's continued to grow and develop, and we're looking forward to watching that continue.
Do you expect him to be the backup next season?
Yes, yeah, I think, but his goaltending, as you look around the league, I think you need to build depth there. And Matt Sogard is, went through some injuries last year, but he's a heck of a prospect and a goaltender. And so we're looking forward to having that depth in the organization.
Are you planning on adding another goalie to be a tandem mate for Mads in the AHL?
Yes.
Steve, Travis touched upon a couple weeks ago, just checking in on guys throughout the summer with what you said earlier, the development and the development of internal growth that you mentioned. Just kind of, what What does the summer look like for you now, touching base with the guys that are coming back next year?
In my communication with the players, a lot of that's through with the coaches. Yeah, I call and check in and still keep in contact with the players. But that communication is typically with the coaches. And we have a lot of our players they've kind of gone home and come back, and they'll come in early for training camp. And they did so last year. They showed a great deal of commitment getting ready for training camp, and I expect the same this year.
Shane Pinto, extension eligible, I think, as of today. Do you expect to have any negotiations over a contract extension?
Yes.
Like soon?
Soon enough, I hope. I mean, we feel like Shane's a big part of this group.
That's it?
That's all? Okay.
Maybe expect some more Buffalo signings later today? Or?
Yeah, we'll continue to work on it. I mean, there's some of them are pending, so I'm not sure. By the time we walk downstairs, they could be out already. Yeah.